Welcome back to the Mountain Man Medical YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out. In the last video, we talked about the Guardian Conference. That was an incredible event. So if you were at that conference or you want to learn more about that, check this link up here, and I'm going to drop that so that you can go and check that video out and learn a little bit more about that event. But in this video, we're going to talk about the Active Self-Protection Bullets and Bibles Conference, and that was its own incredible event. So I get to go out to Kansas, and we are at the Flint Hills Foster Teen Camp. And this is a camp that is dedicated to helping foster kids recover after the life that they've been through. John Correa over at Active Self-Protection and his whole team, Stephanie and Neil and everybody involved with that is they're just quality people who genuinely care about everyone around them. And they have a passion for spreading as much love and joy as possible. So something that is important to the Active Self-Protection crew is to give back as much as possible. I had the opportunity to speak with John about this a while back, maybe a year or two ago, when we had done a couple of videos together. And he had said to me, he's like, Brian, I've got everything I need. I feel I'm very blessed. I got a nice house. I got a nice car. I don't need much else, so I like to give back everything else that I've got. Anything extra that comes in, I like to give that back to charity. I want my people to be paid well. I have families to take care of, and my family needs to be taken care of. So I'm going to take care of them, but anything extra, I'm going to give back. And this is something that he does with his trauma kits. We sell his trauma kits on our website at mountainmanmedical.com. And the proceeds of those go to charity. And he picks a different charity every so often, whatever just kind of pops up and he feels passionate about. He pursues that and blesses those people with money that he's earned from these trauma kits and the sales of them. So a part of his passion is giving back to the foster children. And this particular Flint Hills teen camp is an excellent opportunity for these kids that have been in the foster care system. They've been horribly abused and neglected for the entirety of their lives, and they're being set up for the remainder of their lives to be terrible. They took us to the wall, and it was very powerful. I'm not going to talk too much about the wall. You just kind of have to go there. And it's just an experience that you're just going to have to go and hear for yourself. It is definitely worthwhile and will make you sad and hopeful all at the same time. Okay, I'm going to getting a little deep in here. So let's get back to the Active Self-Protection Conference. It went really well. I taught my classes again. This is trauma medicine in a hostile environment. The class was packed out each day, which was great. I felt honored that people would want to come and take the class. A lot of people came up and said that they had missed the class. They had missed registration, and they were bummed about that. And I had a couple of return students from the year before who said that the class the year before had been impactful. So that was great, man. It's awesome to get that feedback. The other thing I found that was especially valuable was getting the chance to go to my own classes. I have been loving going to the conferences because I don't really have to work that much, right? I was the range medic at the Active Self-Protection Conference and at the Guardian Conference. And both of those, that doesn't really require a whole lot. I have a radio, and if somebody has a boo-boo, I go help out. Not a big deal. But the rest of the time, I can kind of do what I want if I'm not teaching a class. So I get to choose a class that I want to attend. And so that was a lot of fun. I got to go and do a little bit of training with Tim over at RevTech. He's a beautiful man. You gotta admit, he's a gorgeous man. He's got a personality that makes you want to slap him sometimes, but I think he would probably agree with you. That's the case. So he's just a wonderful human being, taught a fantastic class on long range shooting, which I really enjoyed. I haven't had a whole lot of time with a precision rifle. That's been an area I've neglected in my overall training, and it's really enjoyable. I was hitting steel on a regular basis at 500 yards. After his class, I had everything dialed in and so tweaked. And you put the bullet and it goes exactly where you want it to go. There's few things in the world that feel better than that. I mean, there's some, Trust me, there's some, but that's a pretty good feeling too. Now, I then got the opportunity to be the assistant instructor at the John Correa shotgun course. And that was a lot of fun too. Like, I really enjoyed that. John Correa's got this really great philosophy on shotguns, and he gave me the chance to run his tricked out shotgun. It's a 1301 Frankentech something. I have to remember the name for it. He's got some sort of name. The thing's incredible. It's got a suppressor on it. And John has this special way of teaching how to shoot a shotgun that reduces the recoil to a much more manageable level. If you've ever put a significant number of shotgun shells through a 12 gauge, you know your shoulders beat the crap, right? It's pretty well beat up. I remember having bruises on my shoulders from shooting shotguns for so much. The next thing that I think was really cool about the Active Self-Protection Conference that really stood out to me was this opportunity to sit in on some classes and listen to other instructors instruct. It was awesome to go in and listen to some of these people who have been teaching for a very long time and are very good at it. I got the opportunity to sit in on a portion of Brian Hill's class, and I'll drop a link to his website down below because I don't have it off the top of my head right now. But if you get the opportunity to take a class from Brian Hill, you will be so impressed. I was blown away with his ability to speak and his ability to get across complex ideas in a very memorable way. It was clear to me that he has been instructing for a very long time. And during the course of listening to him, I was able, I heard that he is a martial arts coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, on top of being a firearms instructor. And listening to his philosophies about training and about life was just inspiring and beautiful and incredibly impactful. There was a couple of the other instructors standing around, and I was just like, wow. I was like, Carrie, wow. And she's like, I know, isn't he amazing? We were just totally nerding out. I was just like, he's an incredible person with just a lot to say of things that not only will help you in your training and becoming a better warrior and a better defender, but also in life. A lot of these things are very transferable. And these instructors have some deep philosophies that you can pick up, but a lot of times you don't get them, and definitely not the full impact unless you're in person. So that's part of the value of these types of events, is you get to be close and personal with people that you really admire and respect, and you get to ask them questions, and that's extremely valuable, especially for me. So the Active Self-Protection Conference was awesome. I had a fantastic time. The people there are great. They're wonderful. They're so welcoming and salt of the earth. My dad used to say, that's a salt of the earth person. And all of the people out there that I met were just salt of the earth people. Just quality, loving, kind, tough, capable, beautiful people. So if you get the opportunity, I highly recommend the Active Self-Protection Conference. I'm going to drop a link to that into the description down below. Don't forget to hit a like and subscribe. That's a free way to support me here at the channel. So if you got anything out of that, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to head over to mountainmanmedical.com. Check out our Yellowstone and Wind River trauma kits. Be ready for whatever the mountain throws at you. I'll catch you guys in the next one.